Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another Premier Division show. Just going to look back at the games that occurred last weekend. I give my predictions for the upcoming games. We have a full fixture of games in the Premier Division. Everyone's going to play over the course of the bank holiday weekend. We'd normally do a European show as well, but didn't really get time to do one separate. So I'll just briefly talk about them. To be fair, it looks like Shamrock Rovers are through, aren't they? That match, I think, tie is over. As is the Shelbourne Carabag tie, it looks like it's over. Of course, Shelbourne will bounce into the Europa League, so that's the good news for them. Shamrock Rovers, very, very good win on the road. Actually, brilliant win on the road to go and absolutely batter Joseph's 4-0. It's brilliant for Stephen Bradley, especially as they prepare for the game on Sunday against Derry City. The only tie really in the balance, the Pats game, to be fair, against Calju. And I'd still be very confident that Pats will actually go through. They battered them at home. Yes, they should have won by more. Calju lost their discipline completely, got 2 men sent off. But the fact that they battered them so convincingly would suggest to me that they should go over there and at least get a result to go through. So they should be confident in that manner, I think. Now on to the games. Last weekend, of course, we only had 3 games and we 3 belters, didn't we? And 2 of them turned out to be belters, one of them not so much. But we'll start off at the Turner's Cross, where I finished Cork City 2, Sligo Rovers 3. Did I say death Turner's Cross? I may have. But that's what I finished, 3-2. Disaster basically for Cork City, absolute disaster. First of all, losing the game bad enough because they're now 11 points behind Sligo Rovers in the league, and they're in big, big trouble. They've also lost Bang. He's gone to Shelbourne, and unfortunately Cottle O'Sullivan's after doing his ACL as well. So all round, not a great last number of days for Cork City at all. Sligo Rovers brought in Kieran Harkin, by the way, from Derry City today as well as I do this video. But the game itself, first of all, Cork had a brilliant start. Evan McLaughlin's goal after 7 minutes. And then in 57 minutes, Sean Maguire makes it 2-0, and you're thinking to yourself, maybe they get a win and there's a bit of hope. We'll put them 5 points behind Sligo Rovers and give them that little bit of hope that they might be able to catch them. But Sligo Rovers were dominant in the second half. Elding's goal in 61, McLean's header on 79 from corner, and Ryan O'Kane in 89 was a very good counter-attacking goal, well finished and absolute scenes in the bit of red end. But just about a minute before that, and this is where Cork City are a bit unlucky to be fair, Alex Nolan does brilliantly to work the position, takes a shot. Not only does it hit the bar, he also has the bad luck of as the keeper's dive, and it could easily hit the bar and hit off the keeper and goes in. That doesn't happen. Sargent makes a good follow-up save through the scramble, I have to say. And an absolute disaster for Cork City. It's very difficult. Look, it's the only thing Cork City fans can hope for is actual hope, and you never know type thing. But in reality, you can't come up with a logical argument to suggest that Cork City are going to finish 9th in the table. And I'm sure Cork City fans would agree with that. As for Sligo Rovers now, as I said in the preview, if they could win this, they can look up now, really. And they can look up. They're only 3 points behind Galway United, who are really stuttering, it has to be said. We'll talk about them in a minute. But you'd fancy Sligo Rovers to catch at least Galway United, certainly, I would think. There's other teams like Pats and Waterford. And even Shelbourne, you could argue that they should be going for now, if you like. And I spoke about Patrick McLean getting the goal there, but he's been excellent since he came in. I spoke about before that they needed more experience, I thought, in the back line. And he's come in, he's provided all that and more. He has. It's been an exceptional signing for Sligo Rovers, a massive help to the team there, as is James McManus in the middle of the park, I feel. Harkin is going to give them more options in that area too, I think. So, and with Turner Ollie Denham being a big thing as well, Mahon now. So suddenly there's this competition for places at Sligo Rovers. So it's absolutely brilliant for them. And like I keep saying it, but they're a joy to watch. Like I know they're going to concede, and even the second goal they conceded was kind of a poor goal, to a sloppy goal, to be honest as well. But they play lovely football. They really do. Jad Hakiki as well it's a joy to watch at times, I feel, as well. So brilliant win for them. Absolutely fantastic. Cork City, very, very disappointing. And, it looks like they're going down convincingly, doesn't it, now at this stage? But let me know what you think in the comments. Now, in DC Park, finished Galway United 2, Waterford FC 4. Absolute banger of a game with 6 goals as well. Brilliant result for Waterford because it puts them ahead of St Patrick's Athletic. 2 points off Shelbourne 5 points off Drogheda United, for example, who are in fourth place. So they can look up as well. And I spoke in the preview how important this game was, because I said if Sligo were to win at Cork in particular, that if any of these sides lost this game, they're the side that are looking down a little bit. And that's Galway United now. After that defeat, they're only 3 points ahead of Sligo, as I mentioned in the Cork City Sligo game. And they're struggling, Galway United. They're struggling, Galway United. They're conceding a lot more goals than you would expect them to concede, to be honest with you. And no, they were beaten convincingly, to be fair, in this game. The first goal that Waterford get through Michael Noonan, Conan Noonan, was brilliant. Not only was the finish brilliant, but his left foot. It was brilliant football. First 1-2 touch football involving Ammond and a number of players. McDonald as well started it, I think. But brilliant move, absolutely brilliant move. Carved Galway open, and Conan Noonan finishes with a plump, and it was a very good goal all round. Brilliant goal all round, to be fair. That gave them the lead. Podge Ammond, who scored and made it 2-0 in 47 minutes early in the second half. He had a chance actually in the game, which you'd expect him to score before that when he was 1-1. He kind of scuffs the shot. But Podge Ammond finished brilliantly to put them 2 up. Galway will always fight though, and Stephen Walsh gets one back on 59 to keep them in the game. Then Darragh Leahy scores at 72 after the shot came in from Ryan Burke, and Leahy does well and finishes to the net and puts them 3-1 up. But again, Galway aren't dead, are they? Young McGuinness in 74 gets them back in the game and makes it 3-2. But the penalty in 77 through after Tommy Lonergan looked like it was foul. It's hard to tell, to be honest with you, but it looked like Cunningham probably came through him. It was definitely an awkward challenge, and the referee pointed the spot. Ammon dispatched and made it 4-2, and it's a brilliant win for Waterford FC. Waterford, another team that score a lot of goals but concede a lot of goals too. Very similar to Sligo Rovers actually in that manner. But they've got the highest marksman in the league, the best marksman in the league, in Podge Ammond, who is on 12 goals now, and he's kind of clear a little bit. He's 3 clear of the pack. He's 2 clear of Moses Dyer, but clearly Moses Dyer can't score any more goals in this league. So it's 3 clear of the pack. And personally, I was delighted as I had him as my captain in the fantasy football team. So cheers, Podge. Thanks very much for that. But yeah, Galway United, let me know what you think, Galway United fans, because you started the season absolutely brilliantly. What's going wrong at the moment? Do you think it is a case of levelling off a little bit, or what do you think is the problem there? Because I think that is the problem, really. I think they work very, very hard, but it's very hard throughout the season to keep doing what they do and keep getting results, I think, with other sides in the league and the quality of Waterford. They wouldn't be the best football inside in the league, Galway United, to be honest. They have a certain way of playing, and it's worked for them. But they are starting to concede a lot of goals, and that's something that was the thing with them. They were miserly, weren't they? And that's obviously a problem at the moment. Waterford are flying, and Waterford fans must be thinking to themselves, I mentioned there about the points that Drogheda and Shelbourne have, why not? They've got Pats next as well at home, and that's a good opportunity for them, I feel, because Pats are kind of in the middle of a European run. Even if they're beaten in that game in Europe, they're kind of coming back from Estonia to play that match on Sunday, that sort of way. It's always more difficult, isn't it, in that scenario? So it's a good chance for Waterford there, but absolutely brilliant from Waterford, disappointing from Galway, and they're definitely in a relegation battle. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, the Brandywell finished Derry City 1, Bohemians 1, and this was a win for Shamrock Rovers, really, wasn't it? I think I predicted 1-1 actually in the show. Not much separated the teams. I watched this game in the full as well, and it was probably a disappointing game overall from both teams, to be honest with you. But Derry City, I thought, done all the running really in the first half. Had a couple of chances, just done all the running essentially. Bows offered nothing in the first half really. And they deservedly went in front when Akinyemi scored a brilliant header on the stroke of half time. I think it was Fleming who got the cross in, Fleming actually was quite impressive in the game. I named him my team of the week, as I did Akinyemi, who I like to look at as well. There's a bit of mobility about him as well. He's obviously scored goals in his career, but he looks mobile, and him and Boyce could be an interesting combo up front if Tiernan Lynch goes ahead with that on a consistent basis. Apologies for the clock if you can hear it in the background. I forgot to shut the door. But yeah, he looked a handful in this game overall, and he's definitely one to watch. Very good goal. Second half, I imagine Bowles got a bit of a bollock in a half time, to be honest, because they came out of the traps very quickly. And good play, ball played forwards towards Clark, who touches it on, and Tierney's there, Ross Tierney, to bury the chance to make it 1-1. And for parts of the second half, I'd say Bowles were better. Bowles were certainly way better in the second half overall than they were in the first half. They faded a little bit. Derry kind of came into it, but didn't really look like scoring again. Either did Bowles, to be honest. And, it's a good result for Bowles from a technical point of view, I feel, because you go on the road to the Brandywell, and the way Derry are generally playing at the moment, to get a point's a good result, but doesn't do them any favours in terms of catching Rovers, Shamrock Rovers, that is. They do stay ahead of Derry City in the league. They're a point out of Derry City and 7 points behind Shamrock Rovers, and Derry City are 8 points behind Shamrock Rovers, and Derry City go to Rovers crucially on Sunday, Tallaght Stadium. So that's an interesting one. But overall, I would say a draw was a fair result, kind of based how it filtered in the second half. Derry City will feel that they were much the better side in the first half, though, and being a home team are probably the most disappointing. The result, I'd say Bowes fans are content with it, to be honest with you. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So my predictions ahead of the weekend's games. We've got 2 games on Friday. One is Bohemians and Drogheda United at Dalymount Park, a game I'll be at, and Billy will be there with me. Drogheda, another side who haven't played for a while, and they haven't even been in Europe. So that's going to that could be crucial, actually. I know they've had games, friendly games and stuff like that, been away and stuff, but even so, they could come into this cold. You might argue fresh, but I don't know. I think at this stage of the season, you're coming in a bit cold. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on at Dalymount Park. Bowes, home form has been brilliant of late. They'll be hoping to get the 3 points ahead of Shamrock Rovers game on Sunday. Dougie should be back for this game, which will be interesting. Douglas James Taylor, former Drog. It'll be interesting to see what reaction he gets. He had the flu last weekend, so couldn't play, so I'd imagine he'll be available. Will he play? I don't see why he won't play, to be honest with you. I'm going to go for Bowles in this one, mainly because, as well, I suppose they're playing quite well, but also because Drogheda, I can't gauge anything at Drogheda at the moment. One argument for Drogheda, you could argue, though, is that the break could have done them good in terms of they look like a team that might have been getting a bit fatigued, potentially. So maybe the break does them good in that way. It'd be interesting to see on Friday. But you'd expect Bowles to be at the pitch of the game a bit quicker, and they'll look to get off to a fast start as a result, I think. I'll go for Bohemians 2, Drogheda United 1, and let me know what you think in the comments. At Turner's Cross, Cork City take on Galway United, and be interested to see what mood the fans of Turner's Cross are in for this game. As I mentioned in the review of the Sligo Rovers game, not only was it a defeat, but it was a hammer blow for them, and Cottle O'Sullivan getting injured and Bang leaving the club. A couple of more hammer blows. How many more hammer blows do they need, to be honest? From a Galway United point of view, though, I'd be very concerned if they went here and didn't get certainly a result, but a win as well, because with Sligo Rovers really showing ahead of steam and their new signs settling well, this is a very important game for John Caulfield's men. It's vital they go to Cork City, and do they need to get back to basics a little bit? Cork City might be a bit deflated, but at the same time, there might be a feeling of the pressure's off as well. So that's interesting. That said, I think Galway United will go there and get a result. I think they'll defend an awful lot better than they did against Waterford. I think it's vital they do that. Cork City 0, Galway United 2. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now on Saturday, Sligo Rovers take on Shelbourne at the Showgrounds. And what's interesting from a Shelbourne point of view about this game, they obviously go to Carabag on Wednesday. It's a long trip. They're 3-0 down for the first leg. The tie is over. What team does Joey O'Brien play? If he goes with pretty much a different 11 than the one he's thinking of playing against Sligo Rovers, because it is a big game now, are you worried they get a bigger beating over there? Carabag, from their point of view, do they rest some players knowing the tie is over? So there's that dynamic as well. From a Shelbourne point of view, Ideally, you probably are looking to play more or less a different 11 and you can have them focused for the game in the showgrounds, etc. But you don't want to get an absolute spanking over in Azerbaijan either, do you, to be fair? And the other thing is a lot of those players are going to travel either anyway, so you still have that travelling issue, don't you, that you do have, so when you go to Europe. But Sligo Rovers, from their point of view, because of all that scenario, a bit like Waterford home to Pats in my view, have to smell blood in this one and see this as a fantastic opportunity to try and get the 3 points. As I said in the review, goals, 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 goals. They're everywhere in their team. They do concede a few as well, but they have been a bit better, apart from the Cork City game, generally at the back. I think I think the bit of red might win this game, actually, to be honest with you. I'm going to go for Sligo Rovers 2, Shelbourne 1. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, at the RSC, Waterford FC will take on St Patrick's Athletic, and like Shelbourne, Pats will be travelling to Europe this time on Thursday, where they go to Estonia, to Tallinn, and play Calju FC. The difference here is that Pats have something to play for over in Estonia, and it's a big, big game. Therefore, Pats are going to play, obviously, whatever the team Kenny believes to be the best team. So if they come back and rest a lot of players from Waterford, you'd have to fancy Waterford. And even if they don't, there probably is fatigue. So Waterford a great opportunity here, particularly after just overtaking Pats. They can go into this game looking for 3 points. It really sets them up for a European fight, in my opinion. You know, they've got goals in their team. I said they concede a few goals as well, but there might be a legginess and lethargicness in Pats in this game. Waterford have to try and smell blood and go for it and try and start fast, I think. When you've got the likes of Paul Hammond and Tommy Lonergan, who's playing well for them as well, they're a handful of a partnership up front. And, you know, Rosser's come into the team as well. And it's going to be a very difficult game for Pats. As I mentioned with Pats, you know, they're travelling. It's a big game. You wouldn't forgive them for being a bit jaded when they come back. And if you make a lot of changes, then even at that, most of those players are travelling anyway. So it's going to be a difficult game for Pats. Pats do need to improve in the league, to be fair, to be honest. But I think Waterford will win this one. I think Waterford... I'm going to go for Waterford FC 3, St Patrick's Athletic 1, and let me know what you think in the comments. And finally, at Tallaght Stadium, Shamrock Rovers entertain Derry City, and they go into the game knowing they have an 8-point gap over Derry City. I think Derry City would have looked at this fixture initially and said, Shamrock Rovers are in Europe. We might catch them off the hop here. The difference with this game compared to Shells and Pats, Shamrock Rovers aren't travelling. They're playing in Tallaght Stadium on Thursday. But not only that, they have a stronger squad than Shelbourne and Pats. And not only that, that tie is over. So this is a great opportunity for Shamrock Rovers to maybe put a nail in the Derry City title challenge coffin, perhaps. I mean, a win would put them 11 points clear. Are you catching Shamrock Rovers 11 points down? I don't think you are. Would Derry City take a draw? But that said, you're kind of looking at it and going, what's the point of taking a draw or playing for a draw? Because do we go for it? Like, there's a chance if we win, we go 5 points behind and we're actually banging it. And it's a statement win as well at Tallaght Stadium against an informed Shamrock Rovers. And, you know, a draw keeps it as it is, but, you know, you want to announce yourself as proper title rivals. So I think Derry City need to go here and attack the game. They do have the attacking talent to do it. If Akinyemi, as I said, looks in the review of the last game, Bowles game, looks a handful. Him and Boyce up front. You've got Duffy, obviously. He's got 8 goals and 7 assists this season, etc. So, although Shamrock Rovers squad of players better in midfield, I think Winchester and Diallo have been playing very well as a partnership. And you know, Adam O'Reilly to come in as well. So there's good options there. Derry City, the only thing I question Derry a little bit at the moment is at the back. With Grant Holt going, it looks a bit messier to me, but also they're not sure what the exact formula is there yet. Fleming has come in and I'm sure he'll play. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. From a league point of view, a Derry City win makes it interesting, but I just sense that Shamrock Rovers are going to go and win this game. I'm going to go Shamrock Rovers 2, Derry City 1. Let me know what you think in the comments. So guys, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think about any of the topics brought up here. Subscribe, please, if you haven't already. And we will talk to you soon. Thank you.